Good evening and welcome to Breaking Today. It's been a day full of drama, and that drama has been packaged for you. I'll be bringing more stories in a short while, but first, these are the highlights. President Uhuru Kenyatta admits that corruption has taken root in his government, claiming that over 2 billion shillings is stolen every day. Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka replies to land-grabbing claims from Deputy President William Ruto as he invites the DCI to probe the matter and asks the Deputy President to get a lifestyle audit. And the High Court has issued orders barring the swearing-in of Anne Kananu as Nairobi Governor, acting Chief Justice to appoint a bench to hear the matter. All right, my name is Frederick Mwitiriri and my sign language interpreter tonight is Teresia Washira. We start off with the Wiper leader, where former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka has offered himself up for investigations of allegations of land grabbing. Kalonzo has said the land in question is legally his and he is ready to answer questions regarding the said parcel of land. Kalonzo was replying to allegations that were made by Deputy President William Ruto in Bomet that he grabbed government land in Kenyatta, Machakos County. Daniel Kariuki with the full details. All right, I'm being informed that inapikwa itarejea in a short while. Now, I'm asking this question: should the former VP Kalonzo Musyoka be investigated for land grabbing? Should the former VP Kalonzo Musyoka be investigated for land grabbing allegations? Talk to us on 111 444 111. That is on 111 444 111. Also, you can SMS us and tweet us at Switch TV Kenya at Fred Mwitiriri. Now, less than 12 hours after Speaker Benson Mutura of Nairobi County handed over the tools of power to Anne Kananu as the Nairobi acting governor, the High Court has issued orders preventing the swearing in of Anne Kananu as the governor of Nairobi County, pending the hearing and determination of the case filed by Law Society of Kenya LSK, claiming that swearing in of Kananu to the office is illegal and brazen attempt to undermine the process of a by-election as required by the Constitution. The court has asked the acting Chief Justice to appoint a bench that will determine the case. Namukana Samuel reports.
The High Court has issued orders preventing the swearing in of Anne Kananu as Nairobi Governor, pending the hearing and determination of a case filed by the Law Society of Kenya. The society believes that the hurried swearing in of Anne Kananu to the office is illegal and a brazen attempt to undermine the process of a by-election as required by the Constitution. In his orders, Justice Mirima has asked the acting Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu to appoint a bench that will hear and determine the matter. The case will be heard on January 28th.
Honored to stand before you today, having taken the oath of office to serve as the Deputy Governor of Nairobi City County last Friday, the 15th January 2021. I once again affirm that I will lead from the front in heeding the call of His Excellency the President to radically improve provision of services in the city.
Earlier on today, Anne Kananu had taken over as Nairobi acting governor 3 days after she was sworn in as deputy governor. Nairobi County Assembly Speaker Benson Mutura had earlier this morning handed over the instruments of power to Kananu in a ceremony at City Hall.
This progress has given Nairobians hope that indeed we can reclaim our place as a clean, progressive and fun green city in the sun. I reiterate that I will remain driven by the vision and understanding of a whole government approach to service delivery. In the light, starting today, in partnership with the Nairobi City County Assembly, we shall embark on a public engagement that will invite views on the state of service delivery in the city.
In his remarks, Mutura said he had relinquished his acting governor capacity since Nairobi had had a substantive deputy governor in office. He said he had resumed his full duties as speaker. In her acceptance speech, Kananu clarified that she was not a politician and she would strive to boost collaboration in the region.
I call upon the residents of Nairobi to actively participate as responsible citizens in providing the necessary feedback for our government with the earliest time possible. I'm not a politician, and I will not start being one.
This happened just 3 days after the dramatic vetting, approval, and swearing in of Anne Kananu as Deputy Governor. The ball is now at the hands of the Deputy Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu, who has to appoint a bench to hear and determine the outcome of the case. Namkana Samuel, Switch TV, Nairobi.
So, help me God.
All right, as always in Nairobi, it's drama, 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 and more drama. We go back to an earlier story I told you about the former vice president, that is Kalonzo Musyoka, who has offered himself up for investigations over allegations of land grabbing. Kalonzo has said the land in question is legally his, and he is ready to answer questions regarding the said parcel of land. Kalonzo was replying to allegations that were made by Deputy President William Ruto in Bomet that he grabbed government land in Kenyatta, Machakos County. Daniel Karaoke with the full details.
In what seems to be a battle of wits between the two possible contenders in the 2022 presidential elections, between the former VP Kalonzo Musyoka and DP William Ruto, has exploded following land-grabbing allegations made by DP on Friday last week. Musyoka fighting off claims of illegally acquiring Kenyatta land alleged to be belonging to the National Youth Service.
I'm today presenting myself for a thorough investigation by the Directorate of Criminal Investigation as well as the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. I challenge DP Ruto alias Arap Mashamba, well known for his unbridled greed for both public and private land, to offer himself for investigation.
Last week, the deputy president claimed that the former vice president had been in power for more than 40 years, but had not done anything tangible for the country, and making assertions that he was not fit to hold office, alleging that his current home is built on government land.
Hawa watu wanatuuzia uoga. Wanatuambia msipofanya hii, tutawapeleka kotini. Msipofanya hii, tutawafanyia hii. Tutafunga account zenu.
Addressing a rally in Bomet on Friday, DP Ruto made a frivolous and unsubstantiated claim to the effect that I grabbed government land in Kenyatta.
The former vice president turning the tables on the deputy president, claiming he has also grabbed parcels of land, further challenging the DP to offer himself for investigations and a lifestyle audit.
I urge Arap Mashamba to stop being hypocritical and to take responsibility for his misdeeds which stink to the high heavens. The grabbing of a piece of land on which Western Hotel stands. It is in public knowledge that the land is public property belonging to Kenya Airports Authority.
The Wiper leader also called for answers from the DP following the recent deaths of his two staff members, Sergeant Kenei in the gold arm scandal and Officer David Toh in the suicide camera scandal.
DP Ruto should be ready to also give a statement on what he knows about the recent camera scandal that led to one of his bodyguards to commit suicide. Is there more than meets the eye in that very sad incident?
Daniel Karaoke for Switch TV, Nairobi.
And from that particular story, I'm asking you, should the former VP Kalonzo Musyoka be investigated for land grabbing allegations? Should the former VP Kalonzo Musyoka be investigated for land grabbing allegations? SMS us on 111 444 111. Tweet us at Switch TV Kenya, at Fred Mwitidiri. Moving on, President Uhuru Kenyatta has thrown his deputy William Ruto under the bus again after hitting out at his hustler narrative, claiming there is no way one can deal with issues facing Kenyans by dividing them along the class lines. Kenyatta further defending the government spending on the Building Bridges Initiative BBI Constitution Review Quest, saying 2 billion shillings is being embezzled by public officials on a daily basis. Emmanuel Terrell breaks down the details of Uhuru Kenyatta's interview held today with a number of vernacular stations.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has again appeared to throw jabs at his Deputy William Ruto over the Hustler Nation narrative. Speaking to Kikuyu stations, the president warned that the Hustler narrative would set a dangerous precedent. Further claimed there was no way one could deal with the issues facing Kenyans by dividing them along the class lines. Ruto has been pushing the hustle narrative where he says that every hustle matters and the government should deal with the issue affecting the ordinary citizen. Uhuru further revisited his recent comments in Vihiga, where he said he would use the same anti-dynasty logic to say that Kenya had been led by two tribes and it was time for others to take over. He then explains that he made the comment to caution people that leadership emanates from uniting Kenyans, empowering them and not dividing them. The interview, however, did not miss the BBI conversation, a joint initiative of the President and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga that is being projected to cost 14 billion shillings. However, President Uhuru Kenyatta is defending the government spending on the Building Bridges Initiative BBI Constitution Review quest, arguing that already 2 billion shilling is being embezzled by public officials on a daily basis. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission IEBC is currently verifying signatures of voters in support of the referendum bill. The commission needs to verify the signatures of at least 1 million voters for the bill to proceed to county assemblies for validation, thereafter to parliament before it is subjected to a national referendum. Emmanuel Terrer, Switch TV.
So, in essence, the president is telling us that we are losing 2 billion shillings every day. 2. Never forget, 2 billion. Not 2 shillings, 2 billion shillings every day. As a taxpayer, that should pain you. Now, Narok Women Representative Soipan Kudate nominated MP David Ole Sankok have asked the fiery Narok Senator Ledama Olekina to join the hustler movement led by Deputy President William Ruto. Speaking at a fundraiser that had been organized by Senator Ledama in aid of 103 fire victims of Ntulele and Yon Ekule Market at Yon Ekule Primary School, the two alluded that ODM party was mistreating him because he was from the Ma community.
There was a time that you were being fought in ODM and your chairmanship was taken by Ongeri. And you know, ODM does not know how worth you are. And they don't know your importance and your worth in that party called ODM. And very soon, sisi tukiwa hustlers, we will poach you, we will take you, we will work with you, and we will hustle with you.
Na jameni ile pesa kidogo tunawasaidia nayo, si ni kusupport hiyo hustle kidogo yenye wanafanya. Hiyo ndio maana ya hustle na hustler. Hakuna ingine. Tujaribu hiyo njia mheshimiwa Ledama.
Now, the Kenya National Union of Nurses is protesting alleged intimidation from the government to have striking nurses return to work. The Union Secretary General Seth Panyako says it was unfortunate that some county governments have resorted to uncivilized tactics, including sacking the health workers, which they insist is illegal. They in particular took on Council of Governors Chair Wycliffe Oparanya for the manner in which he is handling the situation in the midst of a pandemic that has so far claimed the lives of 24 nurses, challenging him to demonstrate goodwill by inviting unions for talks instead of addressing the issues in funerals and political gatherings.
People who are making Kenyans to die today, and the people who are making Kenyans not to get their health services are not any other person else but the governors that they elected, including the lives of nurses who have died because the same governors cheated Kenyans that they were fully prepared on the ground in their counties to mitigate any risks and dangers posed by COVID-19, while we had nurses dying on the way, being referred to national government hospital.
All right, now, Central Organization of Trade Unions CATU Secretary General Francis Atwoli has called on President Uhuru Kenyatta, Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe and his Labour counterpart to take charge of the ongoing industrial action by health workers. Addressing the press in Nakuru, Atwoli has said that the country was staring at great risk should the matter be left on the hands of the Council of Governors, which has declared hard stance. The CATU boss has further said, called on the National Assembly to enact laws that will centralize negotiations on labor issues in other sectors, citing that the current situation leaves Kenyans exposed.
It is not immoral, it's not illegal for ones to go on strike. Strike is protected by a national constitution. And in the same article, para 5, It allows both employers and workers to enter into collective bargaining. It recognizes CBS. But Oparanya to say, I will not pay, as if the government budget allocation, the money that comes from taxpayers, are his own personal money. The national government, the Minister for Health and the Minister for Labor, to consult His Excellency the President and overlook what the governors are trying to do and enter into a meaningful return to work formula for all employees or for all health services.
All right, we are taking a short commercial break. We'll be back with more in a short while. Don't go anywhere. All right, to take in some international news and welcome back. The Florida state capital in Tallahassee is under high security ahead of U.S. President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration on Wednesday. A few anti-Trump protesters gathered along the road to call for peace after the violent storming in of the U.S. Capitol building in Washington a few days ago. Anne Kananu with more.
President-elect Joe Biden's top advisors on Sunday outlined his plans to tackle the nation's multiple crises while balancing the impeachment trial of Donald Trump as an historic inauguration week opens in the United States.
This one obviously came out of The Apprentice, you know, because that's what he would always say at the end, you know, you're fired. So that was an obvious one. I'm sure about 1,000 other people thought that up at the same time. Yeah. You know, but nobody else in town has done anything except me. And then this one is inspired by the movie Friday, and that's where that saying came by Felicia.
Washington was under the watch of thousands of National Guard troops and ringed with security barriers ahead of Biden swearing in on Wednesday in a nation still rattled by the January 6th attack on the Capitol.
I heard it was supposed to be protesters, riots, and negativity today at the all state capitals, so I wanted to be a difference at our state capital. I wanted to show people something different. I wanted to show them love. So I came out here to spread love today.
Pro-Trump protests are planned at state capitals nationwide got off to a quiet start with only small groups of armed demonstrators gathering in states including Ohio, Texas, Oregon, and Michigan.
Actions from people has been positive. I had a little bit of negativity, but it's a lot more positivity than it is negativity, so I'm just continuing to spread love.
Yeah. As the president-elect prepares to take power in a city where only 2 weeks earlier, Trump supporters launched a violent attempt to overturn the election, Biden faces overlapping crises, not only the pandemic, but a struggling economy, climate change, and racial tensions.
That's it. That's the message right there. And I just want people to know, spread the love. That's it. Just like that. That's all we got to do is keep spreading love.
But the coming Senate impeachment trial and precedented second for Trump cast a shadow over Biden's path forward. Democratic congressional leaders Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer have yet to say when the trial will begin.
I think it's honestly because people were scared that they might get hurt and that there were sniper teams posted all around here and still are. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, people were concerned for their own safety, but I'm not. Mm-hmm. Not now, at least.
Biden wants the Congress to act quickly in a massive $1.9 trillion stimulus package to revive the economy, and he plans a blitz to accelerate America's stumbling COVID-19 vaccine rollout. His target of seeing 100 million doses of coronavirus vaccine injected within his first 100 days in office is absolutely achievable, top U.S. scientist Anthony Fauci told NBC on Sunday.
And so Trump is a fascist. Not only that, he's used his influence and his ways of spreading his own opinion to brainwash his supporters into loving him to a point where they think of him as a god.
Plans for the inauguration in no more times of breasting, even joyous, a tribute to peaceful transition, had already been scaled down out of pandemic concerns, fears of new violence by unyielding Trump supporters after the January 6th riot have cast a further poll. Thousands of National Guard troops were filling downtown Washington. The no more crowd has been banned and streets have been blocked with heavy trucks and concrete barriers. A 22-year Virginia man was arrested near the Capitol complex on Sunday, carrying a pistol, 3 high-capacity magazines, and dozens of rounds of unregistered ammunition, the Washington Post reported. U.S. media reported small numbers of armed protesters outside state capitol buildings, including in Texas, Michigan, and Kentucky, overseen by large security deployments. Reporting for Switch TV, my name is Anne Kananu.
All right, and direct from the U.S., we come home for business, and Lincoln Wambogo is standing by for exactly that.
Good evening. The majority of Kenyans love the nightlife, the partying, and everything else.
Them asking for me happy, you just get into the app and see. Okay, so Milan today is the highest club. Let me just go there.
Kenyans are known for embracing technology, but not so much of our own because we didn't have many of them until recently when Bobo launched its own app where you can book for a ride, get a table for you and your friends, meet, connect and chat with new people in the nightclub.
You just get into the Bobo app Bobo app has the following features. It has a taxi platform whereby you in-book executive cars. By executive I imply you have a BMW X5. But considering you're going to take a drink maybe at Golden Eyes or Milan, you don't want to drink and drive. So what us as a Berison or Bobo International are doing is we'll give you an X5 of the same type as yours, give you a chauffeur who will pick you up from home, drop you to the club, maybe Golden Eyes or Milan. Then you'll schedule a ride that will come and pick you maybe at 9, and then drop you back at your hotel or at home. After that, for example, now you've got at the club, you're not so sure if Kibet is around or if maybe John is around. But John is a friend, because the reason why people go to club is the aspect of interacting and meeting your friends and having fun. So once you get into the club, what the club app and the client app will do will synchronize, and then it will tell me John is at Golden Eyes, table number 7, and he's sitting with Brian. So, and then I'll get there, get into the crew, and then text you and ask you, John, can I join you? I've seen you around Milan. And then once I've texted you, if you say yes, I'll come and join you.
Before the pandemic, Bobo had more than 1,000 active users every weekend and is hopeful that with the lifting of the COVID measures by the government, Kenyans will go out again.
When COVID happened, because we launched it early last year, when COVID happened and then clubs were shut down, it really affected us. Initially, we used to get a good Friday, 1,000 booking and all that. Nowadays, 100 is also a problem. That's why I told you the target of Bobo shifted drastically from the booking aspect, which was the core of the platform, to the chatting aspect. The chatting I can't really track because the policy of Bobo is privacy. So I can't really tell how many people interact, but I can give you the bandwidth per day is about 2 GB that gets to pass within our platform. Yeah. So Bobo.
Having different levels of options to choose from based on your taste and preference, the app, which looks upscale, instead caters to all Kenyans.
We have other normal categories. We have the classic one and the premium one. So the classic one is like, I'll compare it to Uber, Suzuki Alto, the light one, the Bobo Bolt Light. The premium one is now the average one. Charges start from 150 onwards. That's the base fare, so I believe we're cheap. Then we're giving you constant drivers. That's the beauty about us. Because the reason why the taxi industry in Kenya is not really trusted is you get new drivers each and every time you're booking, and then there's been issues of security. So by us tracking our drivers and they're in our control, we can be able to always minimize that issue of insecurity. And data cannot be tampered from our end.
In his own words, Kibet says Bobo is the future. He believes that years from now, his app will have penetrated both the local and international market. Reporting for Switch TV, my name is Joan Kutuny.
Thank you, John Kutuny. Moving on, insurance company Britam Holdings Board has appointed Tavezive Madzinga as Group Managing Director. He replaces Dr. Benson Irongo, who is retiring on 31st January. Benson Irongo, who served for 40 years, grew Britam from a small-scale company and expanded it to 7 countries in the continent. Madzinga, an actuarial scientist, will be taking over effective February 1st of 2021. He has over 20 years' experience in the insurance industry and has served in various capacities, which include Chief Executive Officer both in Swiss Re and Old Mutual. Statement from the company is that the exiting CEO, Dr. Benson Irongo, will still be part of Britam in a different capacity. Moving on, in the last few years, rumors of an Apple car have often popped up, usually after the company filed a vehicle-related patent, and this brings us to today's bonus of our business market tech. 2021 is expected to be a year where electric cars take over from fuel-propelled vehicles, with more car manufacturing companies racing to invent their own electrically charged cars. The U.S. company is reportedly planning to create self-driving electric vehicles manufactured by an automaker under a tie-up agreement using a business model similar to its iPhone production. A potential Apple car, if realized, is not certain to affect the competitive landscape of the auto industry. Apple Inc. has more plans of rolling out vehicles to the market and more plans of having passenger vehicles by 2024.
Meet Apple's newest invention, the Apple Car. Apple is one of the most appealing electronic brands in the world. They're known for their mobile phones and computer accessories. Still, It seems Steve Jobs' founded company finally decided to venture into the already crowded automobile industry. The Apple electric car, project codename Titan, is expected to be one of the most technologically advanced cars ever made. Let's take you on a virtual ride aboard this autonomous car. When you talk about manufacturing a car, definitely money and workforce becomes an immediate need. Producing a vehicle is not cheap, and setting up a single plant usually costs over $1 billion. It also requires a massive supply chain to have more than 10,000 components needed in a car. The cost of production makes it hard for potential competitors to enter the market. But again, this would be less of a hurdle for the giant California-based tech company. It is reported that the company set aside a whopping $178 billion in cash as of the 27th of December 2014 to actualize their vision. That is more than enough to cater for this ambitious project.
Well, from the business desk, it's a wrap. It's now time to get sporty with Frederick Mutiriri.
All right, this is a precursor to what is coming up at 8 p.m. with Tony Kwalanda. Now, Arsenal will be aiming to return to winning ways in the Premier League when they lock horns against Newcastle United at the Emirates Stadium tonight. The barren draw between Arsenal and Crystal Palace last week brought to an end a 4-match winning streak for the Gunners, while the Newcastle United are on an 8-game winless streak in all competitions since a 2-1 win over Fulham early in December. These two clubs have already met once this season in the third round of the FA Cup earlier this month, with the Gunners carving out a 2-0 win.
Just a bit too close to the goalkeeper in the end, and Willian couldn't force a save from Dubravka with the follow.
All right, so many of your SMSs which are coming in via Facebook, that is on Twitter and SMS. One of your SMSs, Kalonzo should be investigated just like any person, but the problem is he is dining with the corrupt leaders who are fond of guarding